Hey guys, it's John C. Morley here, Sir Entrepreneur. You are tuned into, that's right, Inspirations for Your Life. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's 12:31 a.m., but have had a busy week and getting ready to go on a trip tomorrow. So lots of stuff's been happening. But thank you so much for being here. And if you're new here, grab your smartphone for me and go ahead and open the camera app, point over the QR code, and touch the yellow ellipse. You'll get my link tree as easy as that. Now, if you're wondering what that says, because I know that's hard to read, um, it says this, just like this. You guys can see it there. And we added a brand new section, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if you can see it. The very top link is actually entitled Tools for Podcasts, Hosts, and Guests. And so that's a specific place where I share a lot of tools that I use to be successful in podcasts and my business. It's definitely something you're going to want to check out. I want to thank you so much, whether you're here, like I said, at 12:30 at night, in the morning, 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 4 a.m., 4 p.m. I'm so glad that you're here. We have a great topic as we're getting into the holidays. And here it is, everyone. Are you ready for it? Embrace gratitude with your family this Thanksgiving week. Series 2 means we're in the second year, show 47, episode number 1. And a big kudos, shout out, and thank you to everyone. Because you know what we have right now? This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. We are now at 49,900. I said we were going to hit 50,000 before the end of the month, and we are. We are growing. So really great. And we'll have 100,000 by the end of the first quarter of 2024. So when we think about, we think about Thanksgiving, what comes to your mind? Probably a lot of things. So I want to dive into some things that are important to me, and I think they oftentimes get lost. One of the things that I want to talk about is the importance of reflecting before you get out of bed for all you have and all that is on its way. And I know that might sound crazy, but there is really a truth to this. When we are grateful for things in our life, I have this gratitude rock. I call it a magic gratitude rock, but really it's just a green rock. When we're grateful for things in our life, more things in our life will show up that we can become grateful for. So I think that's a great thing. So I had an experience tonight. I was actually looking for something, and I had been looking for a while, but tonight I was really grateful that I already had found it. You know what happened in less than 10 minutes? I found it. It was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted. So this Thanksgiving week, many of you are off. Some of you are off on Wednesday, Thursday. Some people, college kids, are coming home. And so it's a great time to just settle down and stop the hustle and bustle. Maybe get yourself a gratitude rock, like I've said before, and embrace gratitude with your family this Thanksgiving week. What do you have to be thankful this whether it's brothers, sisters, cousins, mother, father, thankful for the home that you live in, thankful for the school that you go to, thankful for your health, thankful for your car, thankful for your significant other if you have one of those, thankful for your friends. I think these are all really cool things, right? So I want to ask you a question right now. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? What are you thankful for? A roof over your head? Maybe your furry friends, like your pets, right? Of course, the holiday food and the traditions that go around. The time to just chill and relax, right? And if you're still on the fence about how to be grateful and thankful, then use what I call John's alphabet of gratitude. You start with the letter A. And remember, when you are actually thinking of these things, you don't want to just think about them or say them. You want to feel them with your whole heart and body. Okay. You want to feel it. I'm so grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm so grateful for my car. I'm so grateful that I'm home from college. I am so grateful that I'm here with my family. I am so grateful that my dog or my cat or whatever is right by me. I am so grateful that I get to watch TV. I'm so grateful that I get to connect with my brothers and sisters. I'm so grateful for those things. But again, if you can't think of those things, then start with the letter A. And so A stands for lots of things. So one thing A stands for is air, abundance. So I'm so happy and grateful for the air that I can breathe every single day of my life. I'm so happy for all the abundance in my life, relationships, love, integrity, money, friendships, knowledge, food. Go to letter B. I'm so happy and grateful that there are birds in the sky that can sing so well. I'm so happy and grateful that I am able to be me. I'm so happy and grateful that I live a cheerful life. I'm so happy and grateful that I can do anything. I'm so happy and grateful for the dust that falls each night. I'm so happy, grateful that I get to be different from everyone else. These are pretty cool things, ladies and gentlemen. So, what I do is I take this stone or this rock. You guys can see it here. I basically take it and I play with it while I'm feeling grateful. And then what happens is after I've done that, I put it back on my dresser. But when I get up, I'll pick it up. I'll do that. I'll put it back. I'll put it in my pocket, which you guys can see right here. And there it is. And so people say to me, John, is the rock magical? Well, the truth of the matter is, no, the rock is not magical. It's the actions that I'm performing. Let's call it our gratitude list. When we're grateful, it rewires our brain and we get more success and we get more things that we can become grateful for, right? When I think about being grateful, I'd like you to maybe reflect back on something that happened this particular week. Maybe it was on your way home, something you're very grateful for. Maybe it was the fact that you're being kept safe because there was a treacherous accident out there. Maybe you're happy and grateful because you got home earlier than you expected. Maybe you're happy and grateful because you developed a new appreciation for something. It could be wine, it could be candy, whatever it is. Could be going outdoors, but being grateful. All right. So Thanksgiving is the time to start being grateful, but it's not supposed to end after Thanksgiving. So I always tell people we don't have to wait till Thanksgiving to become grateful, but because Thanksgiving is coming up right now, you could start being grateful on Thanksgiving and be grateful every moment after Thanksgiving until the next Thanksgiving. Being so thankful that you're alive for your birthday, that you've lived another year. That's a great thing. All right, let's talk about something else, and that is in regard to Thanksgiving. I want you to unplug from technology. Now that's a mouthful, isn't it? Unplug from technology. I know that sounds crazy, right? I don't think you know really what you're meaning. And I'll tell you that when you unplug from technology, okay, it gives us a chance to connect with our family and friends. It gives us a chance to put other people first. So if you have your technology, and it's one thing if you're using it and you're calling another loved one, another family member, that's fine. But after you've done that, put the phone down. And I don't want to see people texting. unless you're using it to take pictures of your family. That's probably the only excuse I'd use. But don't be talking your phone. Don't be texting people on your phone. This is Thanksgiving dinner. And you might say, well, I finished dinner. I remember the time when my aunts, uncles, and cousins came over, and I believe I was in grammar school. I think I was in like sixth or seventh grade. And this one particular family, we would tell them to come at 6 and they'd always be late. So finally my grandmother got smart and she's like, "You know what? We're not having dinner at 6. We're not No, we're having dinner at 5." "Oh, okay. Or we'll be there." And guess what happened? She kept dinner at 6. She told them at 5 and they got here at 5:45. Unplugging from technology is a way for you to see everything else in our world. Um, you know, Smell the air, look at the flowers, sip your coffee, sip your drink. It's almost like, when I have dinner at night, many years ago, I used to always have dinner and I'd be in a rush to eat, but now I'm like, why am I in a rush? Let me prepare my dinner. Let me go sit down at the table, even if it's just me, and just enjoy my dinner. Say my prayers and be grateful for dinner. Be grateful for what I'm able to partake in. So, my cousin was there. My cousins were both there, but my one cousin, who was a guy, and he was sitting at the table, and we're finished um, our dinner. I think my mom had made a roast, like a ham roast or something like that, corn roast, and dinner had been all finished, and we're starting to clear the plates away. And he pulls out not his phone, but he pulls out like a either a Nintendo or some little portable game thing, and he's just clanking away on it. And parents might say, "Oh, gee, well, he's only this or he's only that." Now, he was only a year younger than me, but you see, it doesn't give them the right to do it. And parents that are just allowing them to do it, well, you're just as guilty because that's a time when people come together. It's about togetherness. It's about just being in the moment. Now, I know a lot of people aren't in the moment because they're just so busy with day-to-day life. Thanksgiving, and I want to say the whole Thanksgiving week. Maybe you've come home, maybe you just got home on Monday or Tuesday this week, and there's so many things we're going to talk about how to make this Thanksgiving week a great one. There's a lot of ideas I have for you. And the one about unplugging from technology, and literally I mean this. So here is my, I'll show you here in a second. Here I have my phone. Here's my iPhone, right? iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm going to take my cord. I'm going to unplug from technology. And when we say unplug from technology, it means that we're going to become more in touch with ourselves and others. When this is always in our face like this, we can't talk to others. We can't be texting or playing a video game and they're like, "Oh, how was school? Oh, it's okay." So like they're asking a question like, "How are your classes?" "Oh, they're good." "What's your favorite class?" Probably philosophy." "Oh, oh, you have like your teacher?" "I do." What do you like to do for fun?" "I go out." And how about you? But this is the most rudest conversation. And I'd be so close if somebody was doing that to me and saying, "So how you like in school?" "Great." "Do me a favor. You put your phone down and actually look at me." "Great, thanks. This is Thanksgiving and I don't see you that often. And can you maybe just distance yourself from the phone, like, and all that stuff, and just like talk with us?" And at first, they're going to be a little bit standoffish. And then they're going to go back and be like, "You know what? He's right. I should be grateful for all these things that I have in my life. I should be grateful for the people." And I want to tell you that when you become grateful for things, more things in your life will show up that you can become grateful for. That's a truth. That's a fact. Having gratitude rewires our brain. And so, this Thanksgiving, the first 2 points I want to share with you is to embrace gratitude with your family this Thanksgiving week and reflect before you get out of bed. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 50 minutes. I'd love you to have a gratitude rock. Maybe go to a local store and go buy one. I think I bought mine for like $8 to $10, but I love this rock. I mean, it's really, really cool, right? It's smooth. You want a smooth rock so it doesn't rip your clothes. And you start to realize as you maybe close your eyes or you just think about life for a moment, you start to notice things are going by quickly. And you also start to notice that some of the things you're doing are meaningful and some of them aren't. This is a great time, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of my book, which is coming out next year. Here's a trash can. It's a perfect time this Thanksgiving to throw out some of those bad habits. Maybe some people that are just not connecting with your energy, or maybe people that are not good energy for you. And so when you do this, you then have room to bring in other things in your life. Just like I want to have that conversation with my cousin or my friend or uncle, and they have their head buried in the phone. I remember going out with some friends, and we were hanging out after college, and we went out to eat. And the whole evening, these two guys were just on their iPhones. They ordered their dinner, they looked up for the dinner, they went back. I'm like, he's like, well, we should do this again. I'm like, really? Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, how could you have any fun if your head's buried in a cell phone all evening? Now, I know that seems rude, but sometimes you got to be blunt, especially with family members, especially with friends. There's a phrase that you might have heard before. Um, we actually will get the best advice from our non family because they're afraid that if they say something, it might offend us. But if you go to someone like a stranger, they're going to tell you the way it is, whether you like it or not. So, families, you're not doing your rest a service by appeasing everything. If you don't like something, then say something about it. All right? That's the truth. And this Thanksgiving, I want you to understand that taking those few moments to reflect. I'd love you to start on Thanksgiving Day. And I'd love you to start making this a pattern every single day you get up for the rest of your life. First thing you want to do is give gratitude for being alive. Give gratitude for all the people around you. Give gratitude for the food. When I say give gratitude, I want you to feel the gratitude from within your heart. I know that sounds crazy, but unless you feel it, it's not going to make a darn bit of difference. And there's a lot more things we're going to be talking about how to make this week one of your best Thanksgiving weeks. Because it starts with our mind. It starts with our intention that we want to be present this Thanksgiving with our wonderful family. Some of you might be home for just a week and then you're going back. And if you don't take the time to share with them, then I think we've missed the most important part of Thanksgiving, which is sharing the gift of ourselves with those that we love and care about. And there's lots of activities and things we're going to share later about how you can cultivate this. But I know a lot of people when they come home, I know when I came home from college, all I wanted to do was go to my room and I wanted to play music. And yeah, I mean, I would come to the family dinner table and I would have Thanksgiving dinner. And I remember, I think I told you guys this, that Thanksgiving's an emotional time for me. I lost my dad's father, uh, my grandfather. And I remember my grandfather dying when I was only in second or third grade, going to the hospital and waiting for him to come out. And my grandmother wouldn't let me go because she said I was too young. And then when she came down, I said, "How's Grandpa?" He said, "He's doing fine, but he's taking a little rest, and he wanted to give this to you." And I wanted to go up to say thank you to Grandpa. My grandfather and I love chocolate. I think we were two in the family that just really loved chocolate so much. So he gave me this turkey, which my mom still has in her spoon rack. He gave me this little turkey topper, which came in his chocolate and a cupcake with vanilla cake. And when I asked my grandmother a second time when she came back down, "Can I go upstairs?" And she's like, "Oh no, honey, he went to visit a farm." Like, "Okay, well, wait. We have all night." And my parents knew what was going on, but my grandmother was trying to protect me. And the longer I waited, the more my parents kept saying, her first name was Min or Wilhelmina. "Min, you got to tell him the truth. You got to tell him where Grandpa went." And my grandmother sat me down and she said, "John, there's something I want to tell you." And I still remember her telling me this. She said, "Grandpa's not coming back anymore, ever." And I didn't grasp that right away. And so she said again, and I said, "John," she said, "there's something you don't know. Um, People don't live forever." And it was Grandpa's time. And the Lord took him tonight. And at that moment, I knew what she meant. I knew what she meant. And I started to cry like I am now, or maybe more. And I remember leaving that hospital. And I remember it was it was actually Thanksgiving Day. We already had our meal. We went to go see Grandpa after we had our Thanksgiving meal. And what you didn't know is that Grandpa smoked. Grandpa smoked a lot before I was born. But when he knew I was going to be born, he stopped smoking for me because he didn't want to, as he said, contaminate or get me sick with his smoke. So he stopped. But the doctors had told him that the damage was already done. No one ever told me. They all knew that he didn't have a long time to live. I think they were hoping that he was going to probably make it through my 8th grade. But he didn't. He made it through some good times. I remember being in a play when I was in kindergarten. I remember my grandfather being there. My grandmother, both the grandmothers and grandfathers. I remember when I had my first Holy Communion, first grade. I remember my grandfather being there. And I remember all through whatever it was, my first, second grade, those couple years before he died, every first Friday, he would take me out to our local hardware store. It's like a town and country hardware store owned by two guys in town, local. And sometimes we would go to Rickles or Channel, which is like a bigger version of. It's kind of like a Home Depot today, or like a Lowe's, but a little bit different. They were a lot more personable. There was also a two guys store. But anyway, and my grandfather loved me very much. And what happened after that night, we had the wake in a few days, and then the funeral. And I don't think I ever cried so hard. My grandmother was very upset because she was going to be all alone. And it was a hard time. I remember after that holiday, I said, we're going to get ready for Christmas. And my mom said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? She says, I don't know if Grandma wants to have Christmas this year. I said, oh. She said, Santa will still come and he'll still bring you a few presents. It won't be as elaborate because we're really not celebrating. I said, what about the candles in the windows? And she says, I don't know. We'll have to ask Grandma if she wants us to do that because she's not decorating at her house this year. So it was a week or two after the funeral. And my grandmother had come over our house. We went over to her house a few times. And my grandmother saw me sad, and she said, why are you so sad? I said, well, Grandpa. I said, but she said, but why are you sad now? I said, well, my mom told me that there's not going to be a Christmas this year. And she looked at her and looked at me, and she says, what is he talking about? Well, man, you told us that they were not going to celebrate Christmas. And she says, well, I'm not going to decorate anything, right? And you said that you didn't want Christmas anywhere in the family. And so he was just sad when normally the week after Thanksgiving, we're starting to put our Christmas decorations up. And as he was getting the decorations, I told him that we have to check with Grandma first because, it might not be proper to put decorations up when we're, just mourning over the loss of Grandpa only a few weeks ago. And she left the room, maybe to cry a little bit, maybe to wipe her eyes, whatever. And she came back and, she said, what would you like for dessert? And I said, I don't know, what do you have? And she said, we have chocolate pudding. I said, oh, great. I had the chocolate pudding. And she went in the other room and she talked to my mom, my dad. And about 5 or 10 minutes, they came back. And she's like, we talked to Grandma. And Grandma doesn't want to hurt you by not having Christmas this year. So even though she's not going to celebrate her house, she wants us to celebrate our house. And she still wants to be a part of our Christmas. And that was a quiet Christmas. Grandpa, I know you're listening to me right now. And I give gratitude for all the things you did for me. Both my grandfathers, both my grandmothers, for everything you did for me, for all the sacrifices you made for me, for all the lessons you taught me, for all the love that you expressed to me, for all the times you were there. Every time I needed you, you were there. And I got over that in a little while. But then when my grandmother died in about 2021, actually, no, it was actually, it was more than that. It was 19, it's more than 2021. I'm losing my years here. Sorry. It was right around 19. I graduated in 19. So it was right around, I'm sorry, no, like maybe 2001, 2002, something like that. Or no, it might have been a little more. I'm trying to remember. I think it might have been around, I think it might have been 2012 or 2013 that she passed. And what really hit me was when I picked up the phone and I just dialed her phone number. And the number, I got the message saying, the little do. We're sorry. The number you have dialed, 973 ... is no longer in service. If you feel you reached this recording in error, please try again. I hung up and I tried again. At that point, I remembered, oh yeah, Grandma's not here anymore. So I bring this to you right now to let you know that the people in this world are important and you need to show them love. After my grandfather died, I made a promise to myself that I want to spend more time with my grandmother. Well, she had tickets to this place called Paper Mill Playhouse, which she would always go with my grandfather. And then she was asking me if I wanted to come. In fact, she would take me out of grammar school. It was on, I think it was like the first Thursday or something of the month, or second Thursday of the month, where it was. And we would go to the Paper Mill. We'd go to Charlie Brown's, and we'd go to the play and come back. And it was a lot of fun. And then my mom didn't do it anymore. So then I still kept it going, and I went with Grandma. And she would drive. And after that all happened, I remember all the great times we had. And then I remember us going to Paper Mill. And I remember clear as day, I was sitting in our seats. And my grandmother had just nodded off. I'm like, Grandma, are you okay? And she didn't respond. And I said again, I'm trying to say it quietly because they're in the middle of a performance. And I was like, I need help. I need an ambulance. My grandmother just passed out. I remember the one lady telling me that I need to be quiet because there's a play going on. I got up out of my chair. I walked to the end of the playhouse. And there was a guy there who was a doctor. He came to get my grandmother and help her. The ambulance came. And she went to the hospital. And after that day, going to Paper Mill Playhouse was too much for her. So I share this all with you tonight, or this morning, because I want you to really embrace people. I usually don't get emotional on shows like this, you know that. Embrace the people while they're alive. Of course, you can love them when they passed on, but embrace every moment you have while they're alive so you have no regrets. And I know right now, today, I ask the Creator, Lord, and God, I ask for two things. I ask that when my time be called to come up to Him, that I just pass peacefully in my sleep without any pain. I ask also that all these major things I'm working on, these growths that I'm going, I want my mother and father to see them. I don't want them to leave this world without them seeing the things I did. Not to brag, but I want them to see them with their own eyes, hear them with their own ears. That's what I ask for, Lord. And I'm truly grateful for every moment. And so I hope that you all be grateful for the moments that you have with your family. And treasure the times and all the things you have. Take videos, take pictures. And a lot of people, as they get older, they're like, oh, I don't want to show love because, that's just not a thing that, guys do after they're a teen or ladies do after they're a teen. But I want to tell you something. Love doesn't ever get to be something that you should stop. There's no age for when you stop expressing love. It's not a kid thing. It's not a child thing. It's a human thing. And we're humans our whole lives. And so as I'm about to sign off here tonight, I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching, if you are watching. And this is the first of embracing gratitude with your family this Thanksgiving. The rest of them are going to be a lot happier, I promise you. But I did want to get this out of the way because I wanted people to know how Thanksgiving had a very big, impactful time in my life. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and scan the QR code. Go to believemeachieve.com and click on that link to help keep our content free and make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious bowl of desserts. And either way, we'll be grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest them into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you to have an outstanding life, one that I know you're truly grateful for. And the more you're grateful for, the more your life will return to you tenfold and even more than that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. And I'm also a podcast host and a podcast coach and specialist in helping businesses tell a story that leads to them growing and being more scalable and, of course, more profitable. Now, I typically work with companies that bring in 10 million or more, and I'm great at helping people find their story, whether they know it or whether they need me to write it, by observing what they do from truth, from the heart. And so if you ever need to reach out to me, feel free to do that. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, reach out. And I hope that you realize as we start this week, today, Saturday, we're starting to prepare for Thanksgiving week. I want you to embrace everything I share with you in the shows this week, because these things that you do will shape the rest of your life. And if you don't do them, you'll have regrets for the rest of it. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your evening or morning. And I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow with even more information on how to make your Thanksgiving spectacular. So have a great morning, everyone. I'm very grateful for all of you being here. I'm very grateful that I'm able to share some knowledge, some nuggets to help impart on you to make your life better so that you can help make other people's lives better. Have yourself an amazing one, everyone, and I'll be back tomorrow. Actually, tonight, actually.